Welcome to Be Elevate, the podcast where voices rise, stories matter, and our community takes centre stage. We're proud to collaborate with AJ Cafe, the heart and home of the operation, and the Slough Youth Parliament to bring you conversations that inspire, challenge, and uplift. Today, we're creating a space where ideas are shared, experiences are heard, and the next generation of leaders can be seen and understood.
Be Elevate is all about connection, connecting people, perspective, and purpose. In each episode, we'll be sitting down with influential voices from our community to explore their journeys, their impact, and what drives them to make a difference. Whether you're here to learn, to grow, or to simply listen, you're part of the movement too. This is Be Elevate. Let's rise together.
So we're kicking off with a very special episode featuring
My name is Siobhan Doughty. I'm the Mayor of Slough.
and
I'm Julie Siddiqui and I'm the Mayoress of Slough, Siobhan's +1.
Join us as we dive into their journey, their responsibilities, and their vision for shaping our community.
We eat our food.
Yeah, of course.
So what is this food? You made this food?
Yeah, of course we did. Best chefs.
So
We're
this
like-
is why it was in with AJ's Cafe.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
She
Working
started
with AJ.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going
Try
to
the food.
I'm going
I
to.
want to see your opinions.
Can't go wrong with a jacket potato, cheese and beans.
Well, I'm definitely coming again if we get food.
Yeah. Yeah, who have you got for a second?
I'd also like to thank AJ Cafe, to CC at the back as well, for letting us cook. We're master chefs already.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Compliments to chef.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Chefs.
Yeah.
So my first question is, what does this role mean to you personally?
To me, I'm a Slough girl. I was born and raised here. I was born in Upton Hospital. I've lived here all my life. So for me, it was a real honour to, the Mayor of Slough. It's a ceremonial role, but you're considered the first citizen of Slough, and it's just a complete honour. There's no other way to describe it.
How did you feel when you were asked to do it?
I didn't want to do it.
Why? Because?
What do I know about being a mayor? What do I know? I had no confidence in myself, and I said no. And then the leader of the council, who is like everybody's dad, said, "Oh, but you'd be doing me a massive favour." And it's very hard to say no to Dexter, so I took it. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. It's made me more confident.
How about you, Julie?
So, Siobhan and I have been working together in this place for a year or a couple of years now. So we didn't know each other before that. And so when the mayor gets asked by the leader to be the mayor for the year, they then choose a person. You either call it a consort, it's literally like a +1.
It's usually
And
their husband
it could
or
be a
wife.
husband or wife or a family member. And Siobhan very kindly asked me, and I didn't see it coming either. So I thought, okay. But I just want to go back to what Siobhan just said earlier about being asked by Dexter, the leader of the council, to do it and not wanting to do it. But what she did was the right thing, which was so often you get asked to do something and there's no way I can do that. But you kind of have to trust that you're being asked to do it for a reason. If the person didn't think you could do it, they wouldn't be asking you to do it.
Definitely.
And I can look back on my own life when I was basically your age. I couldn't speak even in front of 3 people. It used to scare me a lot. But what happened with me was people then say, come and do this thing, come and run this thing, come and speak at this thing. And gradually you then start to build up. So that's basically what you found over the year, right? Once you accept something and someone's put their confidence, he wouldn't be asking you if you didn't think you could do it. You do it and then you grow from there. So that's why I think it's a great example for younger people in particular to learn that if someone's asking you to do it, they've put their trust in you. Just kind of say yes and trust the process.
As a wise
And you'll
woman
always
once said to me, Julie.
Are you calling me wise?
Yes.
Okay. I take that.
The best way to learn
Yeah.
is to step out of your comfort
Yeah,
zone.
that's right.
100%, yeah.
And why do I say that? Because that's what I had to do, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I always try and pass it on to others.
So if we could go back to the very beginning, what were your earliest memories of growing up in your own community that has impacted the way that you have done things in your own roles?
Going back almost 60 years ago. I don't know, everyone, it was just real community. Back then I lived in Langley, and a lot of the people from Langley, like Britwell, had moved in from London. So there was very much a real sense of community, but also a lot in Langley were Irish, because a lot of my mum's friends were Irish. So, you know, it was either Londoners or Irish, and everyone knew everyone, and you could literally walk the street. If you did anything wrong, your parents would find out before you got home, and you know, there was just respect everywhere. Everyone had respect for everyone, and I think that's what I've carried through life, and that's what I'd like to still see in Slough. I know sometimes that's missing, but you know, for me, that's what life's all about, is respecting each other. I don't know. Is that about you?
So, I didn't grow up around here. I grew up in Surrey. My mum and dad divorced when I was quite young. And so I lived with my mum. My dad was sort of in and out of my life. I think the thing that I've picked up then that I feel very passionate about now is that when I was growing up, I think there was a sort of sense around me that I wasn't really given ambition. I wasn't made to feel that I could do anything. I kind of feel like when I look back, there was sort of a ceiling, you know, people like us don't do this, or people like that. No one spoke to me about university, for example. It was just how it was in my life then. So I think what happens when you grow up like that is that you then, you automatically sort of have a ceiling and you limit yourself. So that was obviously part of my lacking in confidence also. So I think for me, I mean, I moved to Slough and I got married. I've been married 30 years this year. Still married to my best friend. When I came here and then living in an area like we are here in Britwell, it's very easy for people to feel like they can't do certain things or they can't achieve things. So I feel very passionate that you can basically do anything. Anyone can do anything. And we're lucky to be in this country with all of the opportunity that we have if you want to take it. And so for me, the thing I'm really passionate about is making sure that everybody, whatever age, feels like they can thrive or do whatever they want to do, and I'll help them to do that. I don't want people to have a ceiling kind of like what I had.
I had a conversation with a taxi driver, sort of similar to this. And I found, well, what I think is, people with immigrant parents like myself are pushed. Because my mum wanted me to be the best that I could be. But I don't know if there's maybe a complacency.
Well,
Indigenous.
in my case, it was just sort of, my mum is a very good person, and whatever we do, she thinks it's great. It's a beautiful quality. The flip side of that is that you don't then feel you need to
push yourself. Yeah, I get it. Of course, I came from a big family as well, so there was lots of competition.
Yeah, that can be helpful.
Yeah.
Talking about childhood, who had the biggest influence on you as a child?
My mother.
Of course. Mother knows best.
My mother was an amazing woman. You know, she's stereotypical Irish Catholic. So we were brought up with a firm hand and a big heart. Second to her, and I'm going to get political, is Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, go on.
She was the reason that my mum and dad were able to afford to buy their council house. So she, you know, influenced my politics for years.
Do you know about Margaret Thatcher?
Not really much. I've heard of her.
You have to
And
go
her
and
influence.
she was a grocer's daughter. Go and Google her after this and find out about her. Let's not make it political.
That includes you watching. Go and Google Margaret
I'm not
Thatcher.
supposed to be political. In Slough, the mayor is apolitical. But because you asked, I said. So let's not make it political.
Yeah.
So depending on, whenever I'm asked that question, I go with whatever comes up first. So I also thought of my mum, although my mum wouldn't see herself in that way. She would see herself as just a simple person who's lived her life. But I'm also going to say my grandma, so this is my mum's mum. And my grandma, the reason I mention her, some of the qualities that she had was she was very organised, very precise, very disciplined. Never ever forgot anybody's birthday, always sent us money, always sent us a card, you know, those kind of qualities. She wrote a diary every day. She was very sort of set in her ways, but I sort of admire it. I remember when we were younger, we kind of thought, oh, you know, just let go a little bit. But actually now I look back and think, no, that being disciplined like that and having your routine, there's really something to be said for that, I think. So she was who popped in my mind now. She's not around anymore. But I think none of us in the family have kept up the discipline and the remembering people's stuff like my grandma. And I often say that my grandma, we used to always write thank you notes. It's a beautiful thing. And so we were always made to write letters, thank you note. And my grandma would write back and say thank you for the thank you note. And you're almost like, right, okay, at what point do I now write another note to say thank you for thanking me for the thank you note? My grandma would be like that. But those kind of, you know, those kind of disciplines and habits, there's a lot to be said for that. And nowadays, sometimes we can all be, me included, much more lax on that stuff. And I feel like it's a missing thing. And so my grandma, for me, I really admire that about her. And the older I've got, the more I've appreciated how difficult that is to do and how brilliant she was at that.
Wow.
I'll tell you a little about my mum, because I didn't really elaborate on her. My mum came over from Ireland way back in the 50s, at a time when racism was rife over here. No blacks, no Irish, no dogs. So she came over and worked as a nanny for a Jewish family in Golders Green. One of the rings I wore on the night I was made mayor was that ring that they'd given her for her 21st birthday.
Oh, lovely.
When she
That's so
married
nice.
my dad was in the Navy, they moved here. My mum worked cleaning jobs because she wasn't educated, she wasn't qualified. She worked 5 jobs a day cleaning, and that paid for her house. And
Amazing.
the ethics of hard work, and you can get what you want, that's what my mum gave me.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely. 5 jobs isn't easy.
Well, they were only an hour a time, but it was like from morning till night because she didn't drive, so it was riding a push bike in between all these houses and places of work, and coming home and we still had a hot meal on the table every night.
And how many were you, siblings?
5, there's 5 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you would say that she installed such a strong work ethic in you that has carried you through life.
Yeah.
So if we continue along that memory lane, what did your first job teach you?
My first job, none of you will believe me, I had it 11 years old.
Oh, okay.
It was a weekend job. I lived in Langley, there used to be a cake shop. And my mum's friend used to manage it, so on the weekends I used to go in and work with her. Saturday morning would be from 7 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Got to take all the leftover cakes home, because as a family of 5, back then, you know, cakes were luxury, rolls, bread, got to take it home. So as well as my £7 for all those hours work, we got, you know, to have a dessert after our roast on Sunday. We got to have lovely fresh uncut bread for a couple of days extra. You know, that was my first job, and that just taught me, you know, you work, you'll be rewarded.
Definitely.
Right, so I have just had a trigger moment, and I'm going to talk to my sister about this later, but when so my sister's older than me, and she used to do a paper round, and sometimes I used to help her, and she'd get the money and I didn't. What's that about? And then I've just remembered that she worked at the Harvester, like the restaurant, in the kitchen, and I used to go there and do the washing up, and she used to get the money and I didn't. So anyway, that's a whole other story for another
How long
day.
did that go on for?
Well, I
She must
don't know, but
owe
I'm
you a
thinking,
year's
what's that
wages
about?
by
Yeah,
now.
exactly. I need to remind her of that. Yeah.
Siblings.
Yeah, and
Back
she
in
was
those
older, so
days,
she.
and
And I used to love it. I thought it
Probably
was
only
great.
20 quid.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be a lot. And then I worked in an estate agent. That was my first actual job. And as I mentioned, I didn't go to university, so I kind of started when I was in my late teens. And I loved it. And I think the thing that it taught me was work hard. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. At the time when I was, that job was all about photocopying stuff, and you know, we didn't have internet and all of that, and it was very sort of, but I loved it, and I think the thing that taught me was do whatever you're doing, do it well and do it the best you can. Which sounds so obvious, but it's so much easier to sometimes not do that, but it's always very satisfying. So yeah, that was my first job.
What's your guys' favourite cakes?
Favourite cake?
Carrot cake.
Oh, good choice.
I think I'm going to say donut
Mm.
as a quick answer.
And it's
If I
got to
overthink
be
it-
a well-made carrot cake.
Oh,
No good if it's dry. It's got to be nice and moist. Cream cheese topping.
Beautiful.
I was looking at those thinking, are they real or
Yeah,
do
they're
they
real.
just look nice? They look nice, don't they? They
They
are
are
all real.
They
I've
look nice.
already had one of those.
And they taste nice.
They look good to me. Nice
Courtesy of
selection.
AJ Cafe.
Nice selection, courtesy of AJ Cafe.
So, what led you on the path of public services?
All of my life I've worked in care homes. I look after adults with learning disabilities. I've never been interested in politics really, except for who I vote for. We all know that Slough Borough Council got into a financial state a few years back, and I just thought I can do a better job than they've done.
Of course.
So I stood for election. Didn't have a clue what it was all about. Just put myself forward and thought, right, let's get a Slough girl on Slough Council. And it happened, and I'm there. And so my interest in politics has really only been the last 3 years full on. It's not, you know,
Legendary status.
it's not legendary. It's a lot different than you expect.
Legendary, more like Slavendary.
Yeah, incendiary.
How about you?
So for me, I sort of got it was, once I moved to Slough and after I got married, I started sort of community work really straight away, and I think I got the kind of bug for it right from the beginning. There's really something powerful about helping others because you then also help yourself. So you know, 30 years on, and a lot of what I do is not paid, and it's not about them. It's never been about the money for me. It's all about helping others. And of course, you know, I really lacked a lot of confidence when I was younger. And so putting myself out there and then doing things and then learning and then feeling, okay, I'm fine, I survived, and then doing it again. That's how you kind of go through. So I think that's why I really relate to people who are just starting out or people that are struggling or whatever, because I've been there. I know what it's like. So I think there's something very powerful about volunteering or just serving. You know, I'm a Muslim and I feel like my life is really about service, to serve others and then to serve God. So for me it's that as well. And of course I get more out of it than they do really, because that's what it's about when you're doing it in that way. And yeah, I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way. I think I honestly believe that's what keeps me healthy, mentally, physically, is being around other people. So yeah,
I think that's good for everyone's mental health.
yeah, it is. It really is.
Group satisfaction.
Yeah.
I mean, you get something out of others. You know, you learn. The difficult bit when you get to my age, to our age, you know that the bits where you learn the most are the hardest bits. And it's horrible to have to say it to a younger person because I don't want you to have to go through, but I do actually want you to go through difficult things because it's in the difficult bit that you actually grow. You know, like a pearl or any of these things, like that's where you, like a diamond. Diamonds only become because of the rough, right? And the pressure. And that's the same for us as humans. It's just really hard when you're looking at a young person and you're knowing that you have to go through the difficult bit, you have to mess up. You're going to mess up, by the way. If no one's told you, you're going to mess up, you're going to do things, look back, cringe, think, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why did I start that project that's now failed? That stuff is what is going to make you who you are as you get older. And I can say that because I've got a lot of experience of messing up, making mistakes, doing things wrong, and then you go, oh, actually, yeah, now I understand why. In my case, I believe in God, so now why God put me in that position, why I was with that person that let me down, or why they didn't pay me my money, or you know, you kind of
talking about your
you
sister
look back.
again.
Yeah, I'll have a word with her later. But you know, you get let down by people, right? That's people, it's human being, and that it's hard, especially if you think you trust people and then you find out you can't. It's some of the most painful stuff, but that's honestly where you grow the most. So, you know, just get ready, because it's a
Going back-
roller coaster. Yeah,
going
life
back
is a
to-
roller coaster.
To serve in the community. It's not just about serving the community. When I've worked in care for over 20 years, and you can tell when someone is a genuine carer or someone that's there for a wage. And it's the same in life. You know, I'm a natural carer. So for me, coming here, speaking to people, helping them resolve their issues, it's just natural. It's just that now I've got that little bit of elevation as a counsellor, that I can actually go straight to the council and say, right, can you sort this out, please? I can't do it. I can't do, you know, I can do things now that I can't do as a layperson. And that's just, you know, just makes it easier for me to care about people.
Talking about difficulties, what were the biggest challenges you had to overcome whilst becoming mayor or mayoress?
My own insecurities, definitely. You know, in my acceptance speech I said, what do I know about being a mayor? What makes me worthy of that role? It's self-doubt. Self-doubt, you know, can I even do that? What are they thinking? For the whole weekend after I was asked to be mayor, I was walking around laughing, thinking, what on earth are they thinking? I can't do this. But yeah, so that was the hardest for me, was getting over my own insecurities. Julie's been a massive help. I don't think I'd have done this if she'd have refused to be the mayoress. I don't think I've ever said that, but I think if you'd have refused, I don't think I'd have accepted. So thank you.
No, thank you for, it's been a good ride for a year.
It's been alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been alright. So I think, yeah, getting out of my own way. So you have to get out of your own way. You doubt yourself, you question yourself, you think you can't do things, and you have to get out of your own way. I think women in particular, I would say, often we get in our own way because of the way society positions us, and there's, you know, there's extra layers and rubbish that we have to deal with and go through. And, you know, but honestly, I just want to say, right, I'm in my 50s now, and it's so good. Once you get to this age, or as you go through and you learn, keep going, it sort of gets better in some ways.
You learn to forgive yourself more for the mistakes that you've made as well. The older you get, you learn more tolerance for yourself. It's like, oh, I've done that, you own it, and then you move on.
Yeah.
And that's...
But as I said, I've been let down. You know, financially, I thought I could trust someone. They owed me money. They never paid it. They never paid it. They never paid it. It's so painful. You feel so annoyed and frustrated and, you know, angry, and, you know, you feel like you've been violated. And actually, you just then move, and then you look back and you go, okay, I get it now, like what that was about. So it's not to excuse bad behaviour. It's just that when you are dealt with the hand of cards that you're not expecting, you have to just figure out how to get through it. So that they are the hard bits. They are also, as I said, the bits where you learn.
So, more into you guys. How do you guys support each other in your roles? Obviously, you've leaned on each other a lot in your times.
I've leaned on her more than she's leaned on me.
No,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's been my rock. You know, if I have one of those, oh my God, minutes, I'm straight to Julie, and she'll trust the timing. This was meant to be. You deserve it. All of those, you know, self-affirmations that I shouldn't be saying to myself, she'll remind me of. So, yeah, thank you again.
That's right.
No, I've learned a lot in the role, and, you know, being alongside someone who's very, as you can hear, very much not about herself, and very much genuine towards others, and also not putting herself forward, but in a sort of humble way. It's a beautiful thing. You know, there's a balance to be struck between keeping yourself humble, but also then feeling like you deserve things. And it's that balance to be struck that's tricky.
Because even now, which one of you was it? Was it you? you went to curtsy when I walked in. It's like, don't do that. I'm a Slough girl, that's it. You know, that's me. And I said outside to someone I was talking to, you know, when people, no, it was you, I said it in here, wasn't it? People, because you're the mayor, some people just assume that you're a better person than they are. Just because I'm mayor doesn't make me any more deserving of anyone's respect than anyone else. You know, respect I was always taught is earned. So, you know, I'm no better than anyone else in this room just because I wear the chain. It's a piece of metal.
It's a lovely chain, by the way.
Thank you.
Love good styling.
It's the Slough coat of arms.
Is it?
Yeah.
Never knew we had one.
Yeah.
That's a fact for you guys listening.
Fun fact. What changes are you most proud of contributing to?
It's got to be this, isn't it? It's got to be what we've done here. Yeah.
Oh, in this place?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think revitalising sort of like the local area where we are here is just showing up, you know, getting people involved, it's that stuff. I think the other part I would say about this role has been, you know, Siobhan has done something like 200 engagements in the last 1 year, right? Something like that. I mean, it's quite something, and I think most people who've seen mayors over the years will say she really has been the best one. And that is something you can be very proud of.
I had an ex-mayor come in after council. We had full council last week, and Councillor Nazir came in. He's an ex-mayor, and he actually said to me, Siobhan, you've done fantastic. You're the best mayor. And he was, I know he was going to say ever, but what he actually said was, you're the best mayor since I was mayor.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is with councillors, and Siobhan is the epitome of a councillor. She said that she did it because she wants to help people, and that is the reason you should be doing it. Don't do it if you're not going to be thinking of it in that way. So I think that's the thing you can be very proud of, Siobhan, that you did step up when you knew it was the right thing to do, and you have taken this role even though you didn't look for it. You know, that kind of humility, not putting yourself forward, is a great quality, and that I think is one of your best sort of, you can really feel proud of that.
So what comes next?
He's going to have a break now.
I'm going to go on the back benches. I'm going to have a break for a year. Well, next year, obviously we go back to the polls. So it will be an election year next year. So probably until November I'll be taking it easy, and then I'll be on a campaign trail to stand in Northborough and Lynchhill, or maybe Langley. But if I stand in Langley, I will still be here.
Yep.
Try and make a bit of impact in Langley like we've done here.
And for me, I'm just carrying on building what we're trying to build here and get more people like you guys and others involved, and really give the people in this area what they deserve. I think this area, Britwell area, has been left out, underdeveloped,
Definitely.
underinvested in for too long. And you know, there's been a lot of wasted money, there's a lot of, you know, lack of visionary thinking, creativity. That stuff is what I'm excited about. That's why I'm so happy that you guys are based here also, because there's so much we can do here. So we're, in a way, we've done a lot, but we're just getting started. So, you know, I've seen how if you empower people, if you give people chance, if you invite people in, if you create stuff that people enjoy, they always show up and do it. And people deserve that in this area, just like they do anywhere. So I'm just getting started in that sense here.
So before we end, I just want to ask you guys for any last minute piece of advice, your lasting message to those listening.
Get over yourself. Honest to God, get over yourself. And I don't mean that in I mean,
Move out your own way, basically. Yeah.
forget the self-doubt,
No.
forget the self-criticism, just get on and do it. You know, you can always look back and think, oh gosh, I made a mistake there. But you might, if you don't do it, look back and regret not doing it. So always go for it, always. If there's an opportunity, take it.
So all of what she said, plus I would say find your people.
Yes.
So, you know, I refuse to give up my integrity when it comes to people. So I won't hang around people that are toxic. I don't hate people that lie or exaggerate. I just want decent, good people. And that means that sometimes you have to, as our dear friend Samina says, get them off your bus.
Yes.
You don't need everyone, you don't need to gather, you know, I've been doing this work a long time. I've got a lot of people around me, but I know when I know what I know about someone. And so trust is, for me, number one. And if you can trust people, it really matters. So don't compromise on that. Keep your integrity. It doesn't matter if people say, oh, just do this or do it this way or be fake or that. Don't do that. Just stay being yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anybody apart from yourself. And always have the right kind of people around you that you know you can trust, and trust your instinct on that.
Yes. Always trust your gut.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to AJ Cafe. Delicious food, obviously made by us.
Exactly. Well done.
What are your final thoughts about food you've created?
All right, so it's got to be the best jacket potato I've ever had. How's that? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'll
well
say
done.
beautiful.
Well done.
Well, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us for our first episode.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, and
Thank
thank
you.
you both for stepping out of your own comfort zone to do this.
Yeah.
Really, very, very
Yeah.
important. Well done.
You
Good
guys
job.
have left a lasting legacy and will be remembered for years to come.
Well,
I'm the
thank you.
best mayor and mayoress. Trust me.
Thank you. We'll take that. We'll take that until you guys.
Until
get
you
there.
guys
Yeah,
get there.
Yeah.
I'm only keeping the seat warm.
Mhm.
Or the chain warm. I'm only keeping the chain warm.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
both.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.